a level of significance is how much error you're willing to have, right? You're willing to have 5% error, which means that you're 95% confident, which means that if it was one tail, it'd be 0.025 because the two tails together are 0.05. So one tail would be 0.025. Okay, the last thing I said, everybody kind of glazed over and their eyes like froze. But if it looked from your expressions that you really understood that 5%, 95% duality, everybody understand that okay? Okay, do you understand that if you've got a bell curve and if these two tails together add up to 5%, that each one is 2.5%? That's why it's saying it's equivalent to this 2.5 in one tail. Okay.
So if this was a one-tailed test, we would use the 0.5 long tail?
Right, over here. Which would be equivalent to a 90% level of confidence if it was two-tailed because there'd be 5% on either side. Okay, all right, so I'm going down to 13. My T sub C is, I got 2.16. You guys getting the same thing?
Yeah.
So over here is negative 2.16 and over here is positive 2.16. Now we're going to do a t-test. The formula we're using is almost exactly the same. It's x bar minus mu over s divided by the square root of n. Notice that the only thing difference is that there's an s instead of a sigma. So that is 19,850 minus the mean 20,500 divided by s, 1,084 divided by the square root of 14. Yes, I got negative 2.24 as well. All right, right, so that hits here. Negative 2.24, so we're going to reject the null. And I'm rejecting this null. So what does that mean about my claim? And reject the claim that the mean price is 20,500. In fact, funnily enough, you would think that a used car dealer would say, so what did you prove? Did you prove that the car dealer was charging you too much or trying to charge you too much, or that he was trying to charge you too little? Because this could really go either way, right? Because you could prove that he's just saying it is 20,500. But what did you find out? It's not. It's low. We found out that it's lower, right? Because it's on the lower end. So what does that mean? He's overcharging you. Exactly. It's not good for us.
I mean, okay, but like, you know what I mean, like,
You can, oh, yes. Oh, with your argument, that's good for you. I agree. If I found out that he was like, it's 20,500 and I did a test and found out that it's actually 23,000, I wouldn't report it. I'd be like, sounds good. You know, like, I wouldn't be like, actually, sir, I believe you should raise your price. Like, yes.
We could say that they would lower it, and then they would lower it below that, and then that would help you even more.
Okay.
Are you suggesting
It's a line.
Are you suggesting?
It's a line. If you go up to them and say.
Oh, he's not saying he did a test. He's just saying he's suggesting they lower it.
Yeah, and then.
Are you using
because
statistics for
they
you,
want
Nicole?
more customers, obviously, so they want lower prices.
Right.
Cool.
I thought you were saying, like, if they say.
Say you did a hypothesis test and just lie about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could do the classic, like, don't lie, but omit, where you'd say, look, I tested it, and you're wrong. It's not 20,580.
Exactly.
And then hope there's no follow-up questions.
Get on that. Get on that, figure
Okay.
out how much a ski is sold
Michael
costs.
Collins is scam.
It was $500 and a firm handshake.
All right, everybody, are you ready?
Always.
So, something that Tegan kind of half mentioned is she said, so what, did we look this up in the middle of the table, right? Because we were thinking like in the Z-score, when there's percentages in the middle of the table, do you see how there's no percentages on this chart at all anyway? Okay, there are percentages for these things, it's just not on this chart, and it won't be on the chart on the AP test, which is why your calculator does all of this for you. Surprise. Yeah, you don't need the chart. My bad. Yeah, we do get the chart. You get the chart on the AP test, but like the T-chart is just the same on the AP test, as in it doesn't have any percentages. So when you have to do a p-value, which you might have to, you have to use your calculator to do it. So I'm going to show you how. Okay? All right, so I'm going to show you how to do p-values on calculators. Everybody ready? Okay.
Only for t-test?
You can do it for z-test too, or proportion tests. You can do it for any of the tests.
But you wouldn't have to.
You wouldn't have to on a z-test. You could do it by hand. Hold on, I'm remembering where it is. Is it here? No, let's see, link, insert, test. Nope. Stat, test. Okay, so go to the stat button. You might want to write this down on your note sheet too. Stat button and then over to tests. Guess which one we're picking? T-test. Notice you could have done a Z-test on your calculator too. And some of you, like Ryan, are excited about that because he likes using his calculator, right?
I do.
Yeah, which is great. No shame, you should. That's good. As long as you can, the important thing is knowing when to use your calculator, but also how to use the formulas, because they will totally ask you questions about the formulas. All right, T-test. So you can hit enter on T-test. There are two different ways you can do this. Okay, one is data and one is stats, which feels like that's exactly the same thing, doesn't it? But the thing is that data, here, hit enter on data. Data will actually do the test for you if you just have a list in. So if you get a whole bunch of numbers, you don't even have to find like the X bar and write it all down. Like, it'll just do it all for you from your list. But instead, we don't have our data, we have just statistics, right?